Google has finally done it. We now have a Pixel tablet. Not only did they make a Pixel tablet, but they have also created a brand new type of product with a charging dock speaker. Let's go ahead, open this up, and show you everything it can do. Let's get started. And first, here we have the Pixel tablet. This is an 11-inch tablet. This is the porcelain color. It also comes in hazel as well as rose. Here we then have a very brief instructions. And then on the other side, it talks about the power cord as well as the charging dock and the tablet itself. And here we have the porcelain charging dock. If you get the hazel, it comes with the hazel. If you get the rose tablet, it comes with the porcelain charging dock. Now here we just have the input for the power cord, and you do have a 4-pin right there that lines up with the tablet. So here you can use the tablet, and to lock them together, all I need to do is set it right on there, and it magnetizes together. So here, let's try that again. You can see it just magnetizes right on to that there. And then here we have the power cord. Now the tablet does have a USB-C port on the side that you can power it with, but when you place it on the dock, it will always be charged. So this tablet should never run out of battery as long as you dock it on the charging dock when you are done. Let's go ahead, plug this in. So while this is booting up, let's talk about what this actually is. So when it is docked, it becomes a smart speaker. You can ask it to play movies, you can ask it to play songs, and it will play through the speaker. And you can also ask it any Google Assistant questions like turning on the lights and other things like that. And when you take the tablet off the dock, it becomes an Android tablet. So it's a tablet made by Google with the Pixel lineup of software and everything like that. So you have this dual focus device. The goal is you're going to place this dock somewhere where you want a more full rich sound, and then you can take the tablet off when you want to play games and other things like that. It runs apps and does video calls and everything that you would want a tablet to do. And then when you're not using it, you would come over here, place it on the dock, it then charges back up, and it's ready for you to use the Google Assistant and any other features that you want to. So let's go ahead and set this tablet up. I'm going to take it off the dock to show you the setup process. All right, welcome to your Pixel tablet. Just like any other Android device, first we're going to connect it to Wi-Fi. Now, if you don't have a network close, you can set it up offline. For the best experience, do connect it to your Wi-Fi. Now here it's asking us to copy apps and data from an existing device. So if you have any other device, you could plug this in and transfer data over. So if we go next, you can use Android or iPhone, turn on the device and keep it unlocked. And then you would plug it in and it's going to copy all of that info over, the photos and everything, right onto the Pixel tablet. Now for me, I'm not going to do that. I like to just sign in my Google account and let it restore that way. So I'm going to say no cable. I do have the option to copy without cable. So here it says you can wirelessly copy everything from your old device. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to set this up as a new device. So I'm going to say can't use old device, and then we'll go through the new device setup. Next, it's going to have us sign into our Google account. That's how it's going to sync all of our information. And here I need to verify that it's me signing in. And here it's giving me the option to back up from an existing device. So you can do that, but I'm going to choose don't restore. So now going forward, whenever I do something on this device, I do want to have it backed up. So here we're going to use basic device backup. We're going to use location, allow for scanning to find other devices on the network, installing apps, all this. So you can read through all that, but I accept all of that. Here there is a limited warranty and safety data, so you can learn more about that. Here we have to agree to the terms. Next, we're going to set up a PIN. So here I'm going to choose a really complicated PIN. And then we're going to be asked to set up the fingerprint scanner. Now the fingerprint scanner is right up here at the top on the power button. So one really neat thing about the Pixel tablet is you can have up to 8 different users on one device, and they can all have their own accounts, and each user can use 5 different fingerprints on the fingerprint scanner. So I'm going to go ahead and set mine up. Here you can read about where that's stored and everything. And all I need to do is press my finger on the power button. And I'm going to lift it up again until it goes through and does a full scan. So I'm just going to move it around, getting all the parts of my fingerprint. The fingerprint has been added. So now we're able to add another one if we want, or we can now just simply unlock it with our fingerprint. Next, it's going to set up Google Assistant. So like I said, this is a smart speaker. So you can use it while it's docked. You can also use Google Assistant when it's not docked. So here there's a lot of different information. But one thing is when you have voice match set up, it will only give that person personalized results. Other people that ask things on Google Assistant, it will just be given the generic information that anyone could get by using Google Assistant. Here it's also asking if I want to be able to use play music, movies, and more when the device is locked. So yes, I have kids in the home. I want them to be able to do that, so I can agree to that. So you can read more about it there, but here we're going to agree. And now it's going to activate voice match to use Hey Google. So I've already set up my voice with my Google account so it knows what my voice sounds like and can give me those personalized results. If you haven't done that, you would go through the steps right here and say the things that it wants you to, and it will learn your voice. Now it's asking if we want to set up anything else. So like other Pixel devices, it has the option to identify music around you. So if there's another speaker in the room playing music, this would be able to recognize that and you can see it on the device. So I'm going to turn that on. That's kind of cool. I have the option to control info on the lock screen. So we tap on there. Here we can choose if it's going to show all notification content, only show sensitive content when unlocked, and don't show all notifications. So I like that option. Here we can set up Google Translate. We can choose what languages we want to have in the translation and so on. Next, we have the option to change how the text is shown. So here we can increase the font size. There you can see the whole tablet adjusts based on how big or small you have the font size. And then here we can adjust the display size. So if you want all the icons to be a little bigger, you can do that here. It's even making us scroll down now that everything's bigger, or we can go super small. So I like how much flexibility there is with the size there. And then we can choose to have text bolded. And then you can also choose high contrast text. So here we have bolded, and there you can see the text is a little more high contrast. So I like that there's lots of accessibility settings there. I could add another Google account, and then I can review additional Google apps to download. So here I can add Google One. It's automatically going to download all these other apps, and we're going to tap OK. And here you can sign up for tips and tricks in your Gmail inbox. So you can do that here. You can say, yes, I'm in, or no thanks. Now that we've done the setup, it's going to teach us how to use gestures to control the tablet. Previously on Android, you may have used a back button, a home button, and a recent apps button. Well, those are now in gesture form. You can switch that on here if you really want to, but I'm going to show you how to use the gestures. So let's go ahead and try it. So the first thing is we want to swipe up to go home. So here we're going to swipe up and let go like that. Okay, the next one is we're going to swipe to go back. So from either side of the edge, you can simply pull to the side and it will go back. You can do it from this side as well, which is really nice. Next, we're going to switch apps. So you pull up and hold, and then it will go to the switch apps and you can go through and switch those apps. It will prompt you to download and install an update. You can let that run in the background, and once you dock it and charge it, it will finish doing that. Let me show you the gestures on the home screen. If we want to see recent apps, hold down. There it's going to show recent apps. And here you have a little taskbar. So you can get to apps that you're used to using. So I can quickly open YouTube just like that. I'm going to swipe up to go home again. If I go into an app and I want to go back, all I have to do, swipe back from the edge and it will go back. Again, either side with gestures. Okay, now we are ready to use our Android tablet. So in the background, it's downloading some apps. It's syncing different information that I have on my account so that I can use this just like any other Android device. Now here on the home screen, it already has some different apps. We have a home row of apps down here and our Google search widget. So we can't move this widget, but we can personalize the different apps showing up here. It's automatically going to pop up apps that you use frequently here, and you can set those as your favorite apps as well. So let's say I want to add my camera to my favorite apps here. So let me show you how to get to the app drawer. So you want to swipe up on the screen somewhere. If you swipe up down low, that's going to try and go to the recent apps, or that's going to just kind of go back like that. But if you swipe up on the screen, there you can see the app. So I just tap and drag the camera. I can then place it down here. I can also place an entire folder of apps down on the bottom, so I have my favorites there at all times. If I add more screens, then that bar stays there all the time on the bottom. Let's go to this blank page here. I can hold down and I can adjust the wallpaper here, so I can quickly choose some that they have preset. I also have the options to tap wallpaper and style, and here you can customize the different wallpapers. So here there's these feathers, living universe, all kinds of different styles there. and then you can also tap to add your own. You can then choose the colors that the tablet has. So you can choose ones from the lock screen, or you can just choose basic colors. And then you can turn on dark theme right here. So you can have it always on dark theme or always on light. And then you can also choose themed icons. So that's going to change the icons based on your theme. So here you can see is the normal icons. If I do themed icons, it now looks like this based on the colors you have chosen. So some pretty cool customization with the Pixel tablet. Now, if we hold down again, we can go to widgets. So whatever apps you have downloaded will have certain widgets. So you're probably familiar with this if you have Android, but I like how this looks. You can see the different apps that you have, and then when you tap here, it's showing different widgets. So let's go ahead and choose Drive, and let's choose the quick actions. So I'm gonna hold down, and then I can drop it somewhere on screen, and now we have this widget where we can quickly upload, we can take a picture, we can search, or go to our drive. You can even make widgets bigger. So if you long press, it will then show these dots, and you can make some of them bigger. This one doesn't want to go taller, but you can go wider, and you can go smaller. So here I have a calendar widget. I can simply drag and drop that calendar widget, and then it's going to pull on my calendar. I need to go into the calendar app to set that up first. The other thing is the notifications. I can pull down. Here it shows my notifications on the right, and here it shows my quick settings on the left. So if I want to turn off access to the camera, that means no apps can use the camera. No apps can use the mic. I keep those on. You can also tap edit, and you have all of these down here that you can use as well. So if you want to use them, you would click and drag all the way up to the top here, and those are the ones that are going to show up on the main page. If I want to cast my screen, I can do that. So a lot of things right up there. I'm going to go back. Now we have those quick options. And then down here, it's showing apps that are running, different music that's playing. Here we do have the settings. So if you want to adjust any settings on the tablet, you can go here. And then lastly, we have the option to turn off the tablet right here. We can set lockdown where it locks it up. We can power off or restart the tablet. Here we can change our profile. So if I want to let my kids use the tablet, all I have to do is click my profile. And here you can see it's just me. I can then tap add. So I can add a user, add a child, or add a guest. Let's go ahead and add a child. So with a child account, you have full control of what they're doing. So you can choose what apps they're being able to download. You can also set limits. So I like that I can set they have an hour a day to play. And then after that, they need to do some chores, and I can go into the Family Link app on my phone and give them bonus time. So to add them on here it's already linked my kids' accounts to mine. So if you want to know how to do that, I'll leave a link in the description on how to get that set up. But now I'm going to go ahead and choose my daughter here. We're going to add her to the Pixel tablet. So then I will need to add her password. And I'm going to choose me because I'm going to help her set this up. And here I can just verify with the PIN code I've already set up. And now it's going to switch to her account and let her finish the setup. So here it's giving us information. The tablet owner can uninstall your apps or remove your profile entirely. Any other users can accept updated app permissions. Only share this tablet with people you trust. And then we also have some vision settings. So here I can change the display size and text for her, turn on magnification, turn on select to speak, as well as turn on talkback to read back if she needs any accessibility features and so on. So we don't need to adjust any of those. I'm going to tap continue. And it failed. I believe I've had this problem before, so we're just going to go ahead and skip. And here it's going to agree to the Google terms and service, and I'm going to give her a PIN code. And she has the option to use her fingerprint as well. We'll set that up later. And then it's going to set up her profile. Once you have a second profile set up, there are a few ways in which you can get to the profile. Here on the lock screen, I can tap the icon up in the top right, and then I can change to a different profile. I can also swipe from the lock screen, and here I have the option to adjust to a different profile. So there I can switch to her profile and then type in her PIN code, and then it will load her different profile. Now this should be showing a kids menu. I'm not sure why it's not, but if you go into the kids space, that is a really fun place the kids can be, and there are apps geared towards them and their age group. So we'll cover this fully in another video. Now, before we dock the tablet, let me show you some of my favorite Pixel tablet features. First up, we have split screen. So let's say we want to open the Google Home app and we want to use another app. If I swipe up and hold, here we have the split option. So then it's saying, what other app do you want to use? So let's go ahead and use Google Photos. Now it's going to run those apps side by side so we can independently use those. We can then make one app smaller than the other. So you could be watching YouTube over here on the side and doing other things in another app, browsing a web or whatever, controlling your smart home, all from this one screen. If you want to close one, you can just simply swipe that away and now you have the full app. Now let's say you're browsing the web in Google Chrome and you want to use two different websites at the same time. So all you have to do, choose the first website, and then you tap menu, and down here you have new window. So if we tap on there, it's automatically going to pop open that window in a second window. And so here you have the option to open that window here. Let's go ahead and choose a website, and now you can browse both of those independently. If you want to close one, again, you just swipe that away. Now I really like how Chrome works on here. You have this bar up at the top, just like the tabs that you would see on Google Chrome on a desktop, and all the websites you visit will default to desktop mode, so they're going to look just like they would on your computer. Now there are a ton of apps you can use on the Pixel tablet because you do have the full Google Play Store, but one of my favorite apps is the Google Messenger app. So because I'm using Android, I can actually link my messages on my phone to the tablet so I can text back right from the tablet. So if I go into the apps here, I can then open Messages, and let's go ahead and link our device. So on my phone, I'm going to open Messages. Then I'm going to tap the three-dot menu here and device pairing, and then scan the QR code. Once I scan the code, then it is going to link so all of my messages show up over here on the tablet, and I can use either device to message, and there I'm even getting notifications for different messages. So let's say I took a picture and I want to share that with someone that I'm messaging with. So I'm going to swipe up, go into that split screen, and then I'm going to choose my Google Photos, and I want to share this over here. So I'm going to tap and hold and drag it right here into the messages. That should work, but it's currently not working. Let's try another app. So then let's say I want to use Gmail. So I'm going to drag that and replace Google Messages here. So here I'm going to send an email over here. So to send any of these photos, I just need to select the photo. I can press or hold again, and over here it says drop files here. I can then drop it into Gmail, and it has now added it as an attachment so I can easily send that. So right now I've been able to do this with Google Photos into Gmail, but you should be able to do this with other Google apps like Drive and Files, and automatically click and drag and move different files and photos into other apps. So hopefully we'll see this expand over time, but that's a really cool feature. Now, for the most part, all of the Google apps will be formatted to work on the tablet, but some other apps might look a little different than you're used to on your phone. So here I just opened Twitter and it's saying see and do more. So here you can double tap outside an app to reposition it, and you can drag in another app for split screen. Here you can see that it's only using part of the screen to show the app. If I want to move the app to a different part of the screen, I can double tap and it will move it over there. So we have middle, we have left, and you can move it to the right. Now this is great because you can also do the split screen and you can use two apps at once. You also have the option to rotate your tablet. That will then put the app in full screen mode so you can view it just like you would on your phone, and you have that full ratio. Now here, if I want to use another app at the same time, again, I just swipe up and then I can simply drag the app I want to place right there. So here, both those apps work just great side to side. So for the apps and games that orient that way, you do just need to use the portrait mode for full screen. Hopefully we see Google add some improvements there, like the foldable devices that allow you to make some of those full screen. And also over time, hopefully we see more developers formatting their apps to work on an Android tablet size screen. So that's a brief overview if you've never used a Pixel tablet. Let's go ahead and get into some of the features about using the dock. Now the dock itself is just a dock that can charge the tablet and is a speaker. There's no Google Assistant built into this or anything. You can also get second docks if you want them in different rooms, and you can take the tablet and put it in the room. Now, one really cool thing is it knows what room this should be in. I'll get to that in a minute again. All right, let's go ahead and dock our tablet. So all we have to do is place it right here. You kind of get used to where it is, and it shouldn't fall off. It just locks right on. There's a sound that it is docked. So this is where we go and set up the other settings in the dock. So here it says do more while your tablet is docked in hub mode. So here we have the option to remind me later or set up hub mode. So we're going to set that up now. So here we have the option to display your favorite photos, control your smart devices, stream music and videos hands-free, and get more out of the assistant when this tablet is locked and docked. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. So here we can choose our screensaver. We're just going to stick with the art gallery for now. And there is one more option here where you do have no screensaver. So it's going to be the most efficient for power usage. Next, here it's choosing art gallery. So I'm just going to choose the featured photos. I could select multiple of these as well. And then here we're going to choose an account that it's going to use. So we're going to choose my account right there. And here we're going to add our dock to our home, because when it's docked in a room, it can know what lights are in that room. So here I'm going to choose my home right here. And now we're going to choose a location for this hub. This is going to be in here in the studio. And here you can choose to help improve the dock over time. And now it's adding the dock into your home. Now we can choose our default music service. And here we can link any other services that we use for video. And now it's going over who can use the hub while it's docked. So you can let anyone talk to the assistant in hub mode. So I want others to use this in my home. I can do that, or you can make it so it only works with your voice through voice match. So I'm going to agree, and so that others can use it. All right, I have now set up hub mode, and let's select done. So here is the tablet. I can easily take it off. You can just push back a little bit and it pops off on the bottom. And then when you dock it and lock it, now it is in hub mode. So there it is showing that featured photo, and there we have the time and other things like that. And here on the dock screen, I do have the option to swipe to see the next picture or the previous picture. And then at night, when the lights go off, the screen will dim and it will show the clock. Now, if you put this in a bedroom, I feel like it does get dim enough unless you need perfect darkness. There is still a little bit of a glow from the screen. Let's turn off the lights. And here is what it looks like at nighttime. It will show the clock. I really had to turn up the brightness on my camera for this to even show, but the whole screen does glow. It's not OLED, so even the dark area is showing a bit of light. And if you tap the screen, it will then go to the lock screen there. But then if you lock it again, here it is showing that. And it looks like it even went to a slightly darker level. So maybe that showed up on camera, but there you go. That is what it looks like at night. And now we can use it as a smart speaker. Hey Google, turn off the lights. And there the lights turned off. Hey Google, turn on the lights. And there the lights turn back on. Now you can still use gestures and use it just like the tablet while it is docked. It will just show that home screen when it is locked. And when it charges, it only charges up to 90%. If you want to force it to the 100%, you can go into the settings and do that. So in the settings, if we go to battery, here you can see how much it is currently charged, and the charging is optimized. So it's going to stop at the 90%. And I do have the option to tap to charge to full, to get all the way up to that full 100%. And then there's a few other battery options there. So it's great to see that you do have that option. And like I said, you're going to be putting this back on the dock all the time. So it should be fully charged. If you take it off and it is used all the way up, you can charge it on USB-C, or it's time to put it on the dock. And I love how you always have a location to place it. So now let's go ahead and play some music. Hey Google, play my New Jams playlist.
All right, playing your YouTube music playlist called New Jams.
All right, and there it is playing, and it is coming out of the speaker. Now, how does the speaker sound? Well, it's kind of like a Nest Hub in between a Nest Hub Max. So here I have a Nest Hub, and you can see the size difference right there. So it's kind of a medium size between the two, but it definitely adds in more bass than just playing with the speakers. So now what happens if I take it off the dock? It continues to play on the 4 speakers that are on the tablet. I place it back on, and then it instantly starts playing back on the dock, which is really cool. Hey Google. Next. So you're across the room, you want to play some different music, you have all the voice controls to be able to do that. And it will continue to play and whatever, and if you take the tablet off, you'll still have access to that. Now when it is docked, we have the option to move the music to other smart speakers, or we can also play on other smart speakers as well. All I have to do is tap the device right here, and I can choose to increase the volume here, or if I want to add in a different speaker, let's add in the max. So here I can increase the volume over on the max, and you can definitely hear that the max turned on. Here, if I want to turn that down, I can do that. If I want to add any other speakers, I can go through and do that. Now you can also create different groups in the Google Home app to have it play on the speaker dock Pixel tablet, as well as other devices that you have in your home, so you can have full sound system in your home with music. Now there is no way to pair this to a Chromecast with Google TV as the speaker. That is not a possibility with any of the Google speakers. I think it's now time for an audio test. Here we have the 2nd generation Nest Hub, and then we have the Nest Hub Max with the Google Pixel in the middle. Now I said before that it was kind of a medium-sized speaker. Here you can see the size there. The Max is much bigger. And then here we have the Nest Hub. So quite a bit different size here. I'm going to set all the volumes to 50% and have the bass and treble be at the middle as well. So let's go ahead, cue up a song, and I'll point to the ones that it is currently playing. So after listening to these, each of them add another level of sound. So for a small room, the Nest Hub is going to work great. Maybe a little bit bigger size room, maybe a kitchen or a main living area, the Pixel tablet's going to sound pretty good. And if you want a little more bass and fill a full room, the Nest Hub Max is going to work great. I'd love to see some option where you can buy a different size of speaker for the Pixel tablet so that you can really fill a room with this device. So hopefully we'll see something like that in the future. Now let's play some videos. Hey Google, play Tech with Brett from YouTube.
Here's Tech with Brett.
The kids are doing a great job.
All right, so there you can play full YouTube videos. You can tap and use this like you would on a smart display. So you can go to other videos about that. And then if you want to do the full YouTube, you will need to go into the YouTube app. Now I have requested, it would be cool if there was a open in YouTube button so it could take you right to the full YouTube app. But for now, you would need to swipe up, unlock the device, and then it will take you into the full YouTube app. So there is a little bit of a mix between the smart speaker display and the tablet display, so they each have their own interface, but just a few taps away and you can get to the full experience. So now let's talk about using this in a different room. So if I take this off and I want to use this in the kitchen, Let's go and see what happens when I ask it to turn on the lights up there. Hey Google, turn off the lights. Hey Google, turn on the lights. It works. All right, we're back, and that's pretty cool that it knows which room it is docked in so that it can then turn on and off the lights in that room. Now, when it's not docked and you say turn off the lights, it will try and turn off all the lights in your home. It actually asked me if I was sure I wanted to do that, and so that's cool that you could say no for that. So when it's undocked, it's kind of just a device in your house, like a smartphone, but when it's docked, it knows that it's in that room. Now in the Google Home app, you can see that and adjust those settings. Okay, so there I have set up the Google Home app. Here it's showing all of my different devices. If I go under the Devices tab and I go into the Studio, here you can see that the Studio dock is there, but it's offline because I don't have the tablet docked. Now if we go up into the kitchen, here you can see that we do have the kitchen dock. It is currently paused. I can come in here and adjust the volume. That's because I have another tablet docked on there, and I can stop casting and all of that. If I go into the settings here, I can adjust the name, the home it's in, as well as the placement, and I have the option to turn on and off send device usage data and crash reports to Google. So much less settings than a typical smart speaker, but you do still have the option to choose where the dock is located in your home. So when you head into the Google Home app, right here, you're going to see the favorites page. And down here, you have the option to edit and reorder. So if you want to add anything to this, you just need to tap edit, and then it's going to show all of the different options that you have here on the favorites page. So here at the top, you have buttons we've seen before in the Google Home app, like Assistant, Call Home, Broadcast. Here I have recent automations. I can then choose specific devices that I want to show up. If we scroll down and go to the Studio, here we can choose the lights that I have behind me, and then I can also choose all the lights in the room or the dock as well. So let's go ahead and add this tablet and the dock there, and you can go through and add cameras and so on. So if I tap save, then it has added any of those new devices here. There you can see the Studio dock is currently offline. If I want to reorder any of these, I just have to press the reorder button down here, and then I can simply drag and move cameras around where I like them. Let's say I want all the cameras lined up like that. I want my displays all kind of set together. You can do that. And then there you have the lights and so on. So I tap save, and now I have customized that favorites menu. I really love having this menu. It makes it so easy to get to the devices I want. Let's go ahead and dock this, see what that looks like. And here when it's in the hub mode, I just tap the home icon down here. It jumps into the favorites option. And here it's giving you a notice that anyone can use the devices that you set in favorites and view cameras and run automations, but other personal things you will need to unlock it to access those. And so here we can see those adjustments that we made are there. Here we have the Studio dock, so I can tap on that, and it gives me the option to adjust the volume of this device, which is pretty cool. On the dock screen, here you can see the home button. So when I press here, this will then show my favorites in the Google Home app. So here it says control devices from the lock screen. Yes, I want to be able to do that. And then here it's having me type in my PIN just to verify that setting. And now you can see on my lock screen, here I have some of my favorite devices. So right here, if I want to turn off that light, I have quick access to that. And anybody that uses the dock does have access to the favorites here. And here you can see cameras, but to control cameras, I will need to put in my password and such. So let's go ahead and test out what happens when the doorbell rings. Okay, so it looks like the doorbell notifications are not popping up yet. Let's go ahead and unlock the device and see what those look like. So you're browsing the device, somebody rings the doorbell, and here it is showing that somebody is at the door. And so here I am getting a notification that somebody is at the door. If I then tap on there, it's going to take me to that notification. So you don't get that same exact response as on a normal Nest Hub device, but it's nice that I can quickly go there with those notifications. Now here on the home screen, it is showing that somebody's at the door, so I can press there and I can see that view. On the Pixel phones, it pops up a little live view when that happens, so hopefully we see that come over here onto the Pixel tablet. Now here on this view, we have the option to talk through, and so here I can give access to use the microphone when I am using the app. And now when we go back, here I have the option to talk through so that they can hear me, and then I can mute myself. And then here I can send quick responses. So these are preset messages that will then go to the Nest doorbell. So if we go into the settings, you can go there, or you can also tap the settings icon. Here we have a bunch of options, but right here we have the hub mode. So dock and lock screen options. First off, it's asking about the screensaver. So when we are docked, what is it going to show on the screensaver? So here you can use the screensaver. So we're going to turn that on. And when to start, while it is docked and charging, or just while it is charging. So if you don't want to use the dock and you plug it in somewhere else, it could still show you the screensaver. Here we have the option to choose art gallery. So we can customize. Here it's going to show a bunch of different items that you can use. And here you have slideshow speed. So you can do 5 seconds, 1 minute. You can have 10 minutes on one picture. So if you really like to look at pictures a long time, that's a great option. If we go back here, we have full screen clock. So we can also customize this. So we have these different styles of clocks that we can use right on the home screen. So if you tap on one, you can select it, and you even have more customization options. You can have it automatically switch between a light and dark mode depending on the time of the day, or you can choose exactly which one you want. Here you can choose photos from your Google Photos. So now, because I've linked my Google Photos through my Gmail account, here it's showing different things that I could choose to have show up on the home screen. Then down here, we have the option to choose weather. So it's just going to show the weather, and you'll be able to see that when it's on the lock screen. And then here you also have the weather frog, which is kind of fun. The weather changes up what he's doing during the day. And then here you have the option to show additional features, and here you can preview what that is going to look like. So here we have our nice little weather frog. We have the weather down here, the time, and so on. Here, if we choose the weather. So a nice scene of what it's currently like in the background. And here we have the clock, date, as well as the current temperature. If we want to do the full screen clock, let's try this one. And art gallery preview. There you can see the time is down there, and it is loading the art. So for now, we're going to stick with the art gallery. And then at the very bottom, you do have the option to show the home controls. Next, we have at a glance. So this is how different items are going to appear. First, you have notification dots. So on each app, it can display the little dots of if that app has a notification. You can turn that on and off. Here you can set at a glance. So weather and information about upcoming events will stop showing on your home screen and lock screen. So you can turn that off, or if you tap settings, you can adjust that. So you can adjust the sensitive information on your lock screen. You can control what apps show data on your lock screen. Here I have a Google Nest doorbell wired, so I can have the doorbell show up. I can have package delivery notifications show up, and you can have timer and stopwatch show up. So you do have some settings there, which I haven't seen that option to turn those on and off on a regular smart display. So that's at a glance. Next, we have add app icons on the home screen. So you download an app, it's going to add it to the home screen. I like having that. Here you have swipe to access Google app. So from the home screen, swipe right to open Google Home. So we can swipe right to open Google Home. That's kind of cool. Overview suggestions, show suggestion actions, and indicators overview. And then here we have suggestions for all apps and home screen suggestions. So here it's going to suggest apps on the bottom of the screen. And here we have the option to adjust what happens when we search the tablet. So always show the keyboard. So when we go into the search, the keyboard is going to pop up. I like that. And then in results, you can show people. Now let's talk about the at a glance feature. So at a glance is what you see right here. It's going to show you different information, and it will also pop up info when the Pixel tablet is docked in the hub mode. So here under the at a glance, you can see all kinds of different things. If we tap the settings here, you can then have all of this turned on and off. You can see earthquake alerts, package delivery, ride sharing, bedtime, fitness, timer and stopwatch, connected devices, and doorbell notifications. So if somebody steps on the door without even pressing the doorbell, you'll see a notification right here that they are there. You can show searches from the web and so on. So that's the at a glance settings. Next, you have the lock screen. So here you can turn on and off certain features. You can choose the privacy again. Here you can add users from the lock screen. I'm not going to turn that off. I don't want my kids adding other users. Here you can add text on the lock screen. So you could say, if lost, return to this person or something like that. Here you can turn on a double line clock. Here you can see the now playing songs when it hears that music. And then here you can show the tablet when you tap to check the tablet or lift the tablet. Next, we have the option to adjust cast. So like other smart displays, you can cast to them. So from your phone, you can choose something to play and it'll play over here, or you can just use your voice to play from YouTube or Disney Plus or Netflix, or from YouTube Music and other music services. So under the cast device, cast to and from this device. So here we have the option to quickly cast to another device. So if I wanted to cast to the bedroom group, I can do that. Or I can go to a specific speaker, or I can choose the kitchen display. And here it's going to mirror my screen over to that display, which is kind of cool. And then on the computer, you could also use Chrome to mirror your screen to this device. We'll get to that in a bit. Then down here we have Assistant. So this is how Assistant is going to work on this device. So here we have let anyone talk to Assistant in hub mode. So when it's sitting here just on the hub, I want my family to be able to use this. So I'm going to turn that on. Next, you have the option to use Assistant to play music, movies, and more when it's locked. I think that's fine. We're going to turn that on. Here you have the option to set up what your default music provider is. So you have a few options here. I use YouTube Music, but you have a few others down there. So that's now set up. So next we have video. So you can choose and set up different services that you use. Now I've already added my different services here, but you can go in and add yours. And so you can also unlink them there. And here you can see there is a growing list of different services. Hopefully we see more all the time. And then here we have see all assistant settings. So this is where you can fully customize different things your assistant is doing. Too much to talk about for this video. And last we have dock settings. So here we have the dock, and when you place the tablet on the dock, it can do updates. Now, one of my favorite things about the Samsung tablets I've used in the past is they have an S Pen. Well, the good news is the Pixel tablet supports the USI 2.0 standard. Here I picked up this Lenovo Stylus, which does support that 2.0 standard. And all I had to do was charge it up. It just has a USB-C port there. And then it is ready to work on the Pixel tablet. Let's try it out. So here you can see, works just like a typical stylus. Now, when you hover over something, it does show that you are hovering over it, which is kind of cool. I don't know if there's much more function that you can do there, but then if I tap on a picture, I can do all the functionality. Now, so far with this pen, I did have one problem where we were just hovering over the screen and it was selecting things. So that might be the pen model. I'm not really sure. Let's go ahead and do some drawing. And one of the things I like is it has pressure sensitivity. So if I press harder, it is lighter. This app may not support that as much, but there you go. I think the stylus works pretty good. So I think it's great to have that USI 2.0 standard. Subscribe. Now, not only can you use your voice to play content on the Pixel tablet, but you can also use your phone to cast media too. So just like casting to a Chromecast, you can come in here in YouTube, tap the cast icon, and then I can choose what device I want to cast to. So here we have the Pixel tablet. Here it's saying, do you allow a cast to come here? And yes, I allow. I can then tap on that video and it will play directly over here. Now this is kind of nice that I can then go onto my phone if I'm browsing and instantly play something over here and continue browsing on my phone, which is really great. What if we want to cast our computer? Let's try that out. All right, so here I am on my computer checking out a product that I need to help with my unboxings, and I want to show this on the tablet and browse over there. So if I go into Chrome, tap the menu here, I have the option to cast. And then here it's showing all the cast devices available, and here it's showing the Pixel tablet. I can stop casting from YouTube, and then I can cast my computer right to there. And then you do have to accept the cast, and instantly that pops up. So here, as I browse the web on the computer, you can see that it is working right over there on the tablet, no problem. What if I want to do more? If I click the cast option, I then have the choice to cast the tab, or I can cast my full computer screen. So let's go ahead and try that out. And then we're going to stop casting the tab and then cast to Pixel tablet. And now we are casting our full computer screen. So I don't know how well this is going to work if I play a video here. So you don't get that same exact response as on a normal. So it's pretty smooth, but it will just mirror the computer screen and it doesn't act like a second display. Pretty cool. And then if I'm done casting, all I need to do is click this little icon and I can stop casting there. If you are using a Mac, it won't cast the audio. It will only cast your tab or the screen. And then here we have the cast to this device option. So here you can let others to control your cast media. So if I am casting something to the tablet, other people in the home would see that, and then they have access to pause and skip and do other things on their device. So I can say allow while casting, I could choose never, or I could choose that they always have access. And then here we have allow cast in your profile. So allow users to cast to your device when it is unlocked to your profile. So you can always allow, ask every time, or never allow. So when I was doing casting from the computer, I needed to approve whenever I was adjusting. But if I select always allow, now it will automatically allow me to cast to this device, so I don't have to approve every time I want to cast to it when I'm in my profile, which is great to have. Now on the back of the device, you have an 8 megapixel camera as well as on the front of the device. You of course can open the camera app and you can use different features there. There are a few things missing from other Pixel devices, like portrait mode isn't available on here. And then one of the things you can do is video call. So let's go ahead and open Google Meet and see what that looks like. Okay, and we have joined the meeting. So down here is from the tablet and over here is from the phone. Now on the tablet, when we tap on our little icon here, we can minimize our video or we can make our video full screen. So right now, this is the video right from the tablet device. And then we have a few options here. We can tap on here and we can really customize what our video is doing. So we have different effects that we can use. So there's all kinds of fun framing stuff going on here. Oh, look, you can change the background. We can add blur to the background. So you have all those Google Meet features that you're used to. Now let's go ahead and remove all that. So up here at the top, you have an option for continuous framing. So when you turn that on, now it's going to follow me and try and keep me in the frame. So let's see if I move to the edge here, can't find me. But if I come back here a little bit, now it's going to be following me so that it keeps me in the frame. Maybe if I'm walking around the room and I'm having the meeting and I'm talking with you, it is able to follow me. Even though the camera's not moving, it's positioning me directly in the frame, which is really cool to have. So that's Google Meet on the Pixel tablet. You might be wondering what cases work with the Pixel tablet, because if I'm going to let my kids use this, it needs to be in a case. Well, the good news is Google has come out with a few cases. This is the Google Pixel tablet case, and it does come in the 3 colors, porcelain, hazel, or rose. So here you'll notice it still has the 4 prongs there, and on the inside there it has the prongs as well. So when you place the case on, it is able to still connect to the charging dock and charge the tablet. And inside here is a nice felt color just to keep the tablet protected. And on the back there, you can see there's a cutout for the camera and everything. And then here, you can use this to mount the tablet whichever direction you want. So let's pop it in there. There you go, fits in nice and snug. Here we still have access to the fingerprint, and I will say it is a tiny bit harder to get your finger on the fingerprint, but it still is able to do that. So now if we are ready to mount this, we can still just pop it right on there and it begins to charge. Did need to wiggle it a little bit to make sure it was in the right spot. and I can take it off. And there you can see that it leaves plenty of room for the charging dock there. And then here, if you want to use the tablet anywhere and have a kickstand, it is able to do that. Now, I've loved having this kickstand. You can orient it in pretty much any angle you want. So that's pretty high. And then if I want it down really low, I have that option as well here with the Pixel tablet case. So I really like this, and it's kind of easy to hold on to. Now you might even be able to use this to mount it on certain things if you don't have a place to rest the tablet. So I'll have to test that out in a few places, but that is the Pixel tablet case. So that is the Pixel tablet with charging speaker dock. I think this is a really cool, new, innovative product. I'm actually really surprised it hasn't been done. Well, maybe it was done by Lenovo, but hasn't been done great. And this is so cool that Google is backing this type of device. The kids have been playing with this, and they actually love using the white tablet. They pull it off, they can use their account, play on the device, and I know that they only have certain time that they can use it, so I'm not worried about how much they can use it. When they're done, they then place it back. So I think this is a really cool device. There's certainly some software that can improve. As I've seen here, a few glitches today. It still needs to do that first update. But over time, I think this is going to be a great device. I hope we see some improvements later on different accessories that we can get. Maybe you don't want another medium-sized speaker. What if you want a max-size speaker and you just place the dock on there instead? I really hope those are some options that we see down the road. Now, there's a ton to talk about the Pixel tablet. So if you want to request what video I make next, please let me know down in the comments below. If you want to check out more details and pick one up for yourself, you can see that in the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.